Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about time and time commitment. I hear that a lot from people. How long will this take me? How much time? We got to put in the work. We got to put in the work. We got to put in the time. And that's what I'm seeing as a weakness in a lot that we as deaf educators are doing around the country. Is not putting in the time. That doesn't mean we're not working our butts off. I totally get it. We are working very, very hard. But if we are going to increase our students' reading levels, their literacy skills, it's going to take time and consistency. And so I kind of want to challenge everybody to step back, look at it, what it is that you are doing, and see if we can make things, if we can use our time a little bit more effectively. I've talked a little bit before in my other videos about tier 1, 2, and 3 level instruction, and how really in our classroom sizes, or as itinerants, we're traveling and working with one kid at a time. But even if we have a classroom, our class sizes are so very small that really we're starting at a tier 2 level. So to be able to start at that tier 2 level and then add in the tier 1, I feel a lot of resistance for tier 3, add in the tier 3. I feel a lot of resistance towards tier 3 instruction, as if I've heard some different kind of labeling of a lot of one-on-one instruction and negatively. But we do one-on-one tier 3 instruction, tier 3 level intervention, or tier one-on-one instruction, even for gifted and talented. So it's not a negative thing to have one-on-one work, but that one-on-one work and that one-on-one time is where we see our students apply their strategies that we're giving them, that we're modeling for them in tier 1 and tier 2, and we see them in tier 3 apply it at their instructional level, and we can really fine-tune and identify their weaknesses. So I encourage you to look back and see where you're spending the majority of the time. Sometimes tier 3 one-on-one instruction throughout the day, I'm not saying your entire day, but throughout the day feels overwhelming. Like, oh, where am I going to find all the time to do that? But when we group kids all together or put them in small kind of hodgepodge groups, we're spending more time doing that anyway because we're trying to reach everybody. Now, our day should include a little bit of all of that. But the one thing I see us resistant to include is that tier 3. Whereas in general ed classrooms, those kids that are struggling for reading and literacy in those gen ed classrooms, what do they get? They get tier 3 intervention. Our kids, the majority of our kids in our rooms, are those kids in the gen ed that would be in the gen ed room that would need that, if you want to call it pull out, push in, whatever, tier 3 intervention because of the level of their reading level compared to their grade level. So I just challenge you a little bit to look at what you're doing and where you're spending your time, and see if there's places you can start putting in these one-on-one pieces, and evaluate and watch and see if you can accomplish more with each student by doing these one-on-one pieces, and in the long run saving more time than when you're in that group repeating over and over again because you're trying to reach everybody. And also when we're doing, even our auditory oral kids, it's challenging to put them to read together. A lot of auditory oral kids, they're receptive, maybe their articulation, it's tough to have them do a group reading. Signing kids, very tough to do a group reading. It's hard to look at the print, it's hard to sign, it's hard to watch all the other signers, and then inevitably somebody, the stronger person in the group, takes over. So it's hard to see everybody's skills and where they are and how they're achieving. Now again, there is a place throughout the day for all of that. But the point of today is it seems that we're missing, or we're resistant to wanting to include that tier 3 one-on-one for some reason, where in the gen ed it is a widely practiced strategy. So I challenge you to look at your schedule and see if you can incorporate a little bit of more of that. Thank you.